We are all a work in progress, and today's readings are a stark reminder of that. Jesus is telling his disciples what will happen to him, and they can't fathom it. He's calling them to a whole new way of being, countercultural, paradoxical in many ways, and they're not sure what it all means, like us. Mark's gospel has an urgency about it. Jesus is on the move, one situation after another. It's fast-paced. It's filled with compelling messages, chains of miracle stories, sets of parables, controversies, lots of character types, and lots of repetition. Mark's view is that the end is near. A new order is being established, and there's no time to waste. He wants us to hear this. His writing is intended to make people act, or believe, or change their behavior in some way. I think we need this repetition as well, to deepen our understanding just what Jesus is telling us and asking of us about what it really means to follow him in our time and place. Today's gospel, it is not the first time that Jesus has tried to tell his disciples what will happen to him. Earlier on, he has been asking them, who do people say I am? Who do you say I am? He has told them that the Son of Man will suffer and be rejected by the elders, killed, and will rise from the dead. The disciples wonder, what could rising from the dead mean? Peter is rebuked when he objects to Jesus, saying he will be rejected and killed. The Messiah is supposed to be victorious. Get behind me, Satan, Jesus says in no uncertain terms. Jesus tells them his followers will have to take up the cross as well. When the disciples had not been able to heal a boy suffering from violent seizures who was brought by his father for healing, Jesus expresses his exasperation with them. How long must I be with you? You are a faithless generation. Bring him to me. He steps in, the boy is healed. They later ask him, why weren't we able to heal him? He seems to soften. He says this kind can only come out by prayer. Teaching and learning deeper lessons, mentor and mentee. In today's gospel, Jesus tries to prepare them again. This time, he says the Son of Man will be betrayed into human hands. Seems to suggest that all humanity will be responsible for his death. Again, will be rejected, killed, and rise. Still, they do not understand, and they were afraid to ask. They travel to Capernaum and are arguing over who is the greatest. Are they just so anxious and stressed out by all of this difficulty and understanding that they're arguing about this now? Jesus sits them down. First will be last and servant of all. To demonstrate this further, he holds a child before them, someone who has lowest status in the household. The one who welcomes this child welcomes me, and the one who sent me. He has already sent them out to preach and cast out demons. He has instructed them to carry nothing but a walking stick. But now Jesus instructs them to be servants. As one commentator notes, he's progressively teaching them to give up the pursuit of worldly power, clearly calling them to something different. A third way. Later, when they will get competitive about who can drive out demons and who can't, Jesus will teach them about yielding power. Whoever is not against us is for us. Again, Jesus is stressing serving others, not being superior. The letter of St. James today picks up on this, pointing out that where jealousy and selfish ambition exists, there is disorder. We must cultivate peace. And where we distrust or mock the person seeking to do good, is idealistic, unrealistic, obnoxious to us for challenging our ways and doing and being. It's another translation from the reading of wisdom suggests they are inconvenient to us. In the season of creation, that phrase calls to mind Al Gore's film, An Inconvenient Truth, in 2006, warning us about the dangers of global warming, urging us to see it as a moral issue, that our ability to live is at stake, and greater stakes for those without resources. Think of all the inconvenient truths that we have disregarded over the years. Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, 1962, with the dangers of pesticides. Ecology was seen as a subversive subject. In Passionist Father Thomas Berry's The Great Work, helping us to understand the universe is evolving, calling for an interdependent Earth community, a communion of subjects, and human-Earth relations. Pope Francis Laudato Si in 2015 about our obligation to protect the environment and bringing that message to the world stage in UN climate summits, to a great movement within the church. And just last year, Laudate Deum, sounding the alarm, upping the ante. Our efforts are not adequate. We're reaching a breaking point. We must do more. And of course, youth calling us to action. Greta Thunberg, the first launching a movement of environmental activists, starting with school strikes where they were, demanding that leaders take immediate action to mitigate human-caused climate change. Like Mark's gospel, there is no time to wait. The earth is groaning in labor, pleading with us to live with and for each other and for the earth, our common home. Will we be midwives or leave the earth to groan? Where is our ethic of life that we boast of? In the season of creation, we are called to act, and to act quickly and justly. We must take our current reality seriously. Pope Francis said, it is suicidal to say there is nothing to hope for. Things can change if we work together. And as Dan Berrigan always used to say, we must make acts of hope. Things must change because the worst impact will be on those already poor and vulnerable. Because our children will grow up with clean air and water and sufficient food. Humanity will lack stability as climate catastrophes worsen and people are forced to migrate and become climate refugees. They will be exposed to increasing violence. Conflicts over resources will cause wars, trauma upon trauma. There is so much work to be done. The very open ending of Mark's gospel invites us to continue the story of Jesus and the kingdom. Will we become co-creators and heirs of the kingdom? Or will we be led astray by the naysayers? Will we be lukewarm, unresponsive? The overriding question will always be asked of us, who do you say I am? It will decide everything.